MediaMan, Fibonacci. We are NFTBoutique. Let's get it. Fibonacci.
Yo, we here.
I was just about to go into something right before behind the scenes. And then I was like, hey, time out. Let's get on it on the show and we'll talk about it then. So I wanted to bring up, I might have sent this to you, but I can't recall. South China just put this article out the other day titled South China Morning Post to Mint Historical Records as NFTs. It says the SCMP introduces its artifact standard for recording historical accounts and assets on the blockchain as NFTs. I said, oh, well, that's what we do as digital archaeologists. And I wanted to break that down a little bit. So let me segue right into that, and then we can continue on that article. So with this particular episode, folks, I wanted to break down just a little bit more than we did last episode, what we mean by digital archaeologist and digital archaeology. So digital archaeology is a person who studies history and prehistory through ones and zeros, as in binary code, and the analysis of artifacts and other physical remains through a screen, and we preserve our findings on the blockchain. So when I say digital archaeology, and as we'll see in the thumbnail as well, that's what we're talking about. And you'll see our examples on our page, on our shop. So yeah, Fibonacci. So China pretty much following up with what we're doing, but in their own way, I guess, with their own records and historical content. I'm not sure if you had seen that, but any thoughts?
Yeah, I saw it when you sent it to me, and my thoughts is exactly on par with our vision and what we're doing. I mean, it's the natural step. It's the inversion that we talk about. You know what I mean? Not everyone can see it, but for those that can see it, we have the head start on the reality that's coming. And everything that has utility, or not even utility, existence in the physical third dimension also has space in the fourth dimension, which is our minds. You know, everything comes from those dimensions, right? So then it's just adding another layer of thought and human ingenuity into another dimension. So it's just natural. It's what's already happening.
This whole NFT phenomenon is so interesting. I'm just gonna rant for a moment or two and whatnot, but it really is such an interesting phenomenon to me. When we originally started this, and you and I with NFTBoutique and how we were creating this, I really had this crazy feeling I remember having from when I was a kid. I almost want to say like a kid in a toy store, but I don't want to be too cliche. But I also remember having the same feeling, which maybe this will sound weird, but man, I was into this. So when MySpace was around, you were able to like customize your page, but there were these sites that you could go to get these little avatars, and you could create these little avatars, and chicks had them, dudes had them, vice versa, whatnot. But I remember being younger, being on those sites and wanting to I would spend hours on these websites just trying to find one that would work with my MySpace and that would customize what I want to do. And I guess that's, for some reason, like you said, it was kind of human nature, or it is human nature to want to start recording one's own history to a degree, as what South China's doing. And I guess that's where maybe my idea had stemmed from, was the natural, what is that word? The intrinsic, I guess, is more of a better word to use at the moment, but the intrinsic feeling of wanting to preserve human history in the in the metaverse, but of course, try to kind of beat everybody to the punch to a degree, which there's a couple other folks on there that are, you can find them on the open space where they are preserving artifacts. They're not for sale, but there is another guy, Codex, with an X at the end. It's like CODEX, and he just has he or she, but that organization just has a whole bunch of fossils and arrowheads and pictures of clothing and books and all this type of stuff that, you know, they're just preserving it on there. That's an interesting thought you had there.
Yeah, for sure. Seems rare. This is just a natural. I don't even know if I want to call it human, because all this research and stuff that I'm studying these days, it's like, you know, you don't really even know if the things that we're even taking part in is human.
What is it? The trans, what do they call it? You can say that word today and people go, the trans cyborg, what do they call it? Transhumanism, right? When they morph the computer with the human. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, but it's not necessarily correlated. I'm just talking about like, never mind. It's too deep of a thought. It's a whole different direction.
Coindesk.com, you can find it on there. They're going to be doing stuff China's going to be preserving historical moments drawn from archives of its 118-year history from the paper. So they're not going to actually be doing artifacts necessarily, but just archive stuff from the paper from the last 118 years to conclude that story. That was pretty dope. So, you know, I seen a few weeks ago, they were going around. We saw a lot of, you know, movement on the network about Instagram getting into the NFT game by offering basically like, what do they call it? Like a badge of some sort that would allow people to know that what you're viewing isn't just a photo, it's actually a collectible, which would then be the non-fungible token. Let me get your thoughts on that, Fib, and just anything maybe you've seen or learned. I haven't seen anything really since a couple weeks ago, and when I was actually looking the other day, posting some stuff onto our Instagram, NFTBoutique, .net, you have to spell out dot at Instagram. When I was looking there and I was trying to add some different tags and stuff underneath our page for who we are, if we're like this type of business or a creative business or a lawn business, and they didn't have anything for NFT there just yet. Did you happen to come across any new info on that by chance, or any thoughts on that if they get into the game?
I mean, we just be listed as artists, and I mean, NFT is just really, it's the style of display, really, because it's not even a medium, because it takes all different types of media. So it's just a way of selling, you know?
Style of display. That's fire. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just placement.
So interesting. We like took the JPEGs we've been making this whole time, but now just because they're underneath the title of NFT, well, of course they're on the blockchain. You have the token that's behind it, the minting that's behind it. I've seen actually a really good analogy that may help people that do find our show maybe understand NFTs. They're basically using the analogy, you buy a car and you get a title. And what an NFT is basically a digital piece of art that, because it's on the blockchain, you're virtually given like a title to it and shown that you own it. It's just kind of a quick way for folks to possibly try to understand a little bit more as you dive into what we're saying and more. You know, some of the stuff that you do see on OpenSea, I feel, is actually a little bit more open, if you will, than with the terms and services, of course, than Instagram. Now, not so much for, you know, sexual type content, but, you know, more just for graphic content of one way or the other, however it may be. I feel you're going to have artists have a problem with using Instagram as a particular platform, because what if Instagram, you know, as we see, you know, they decide they don't like your art, or they didn't decide what you were liking before, so you're shadow banned, and then now you're using that platform as NFT artwork. You might not even know that you're shadow banned, depending who you are. I kind of just have it rubs me just a hair the wrong way, because I'm like, man, they got to get into it. But it's like, it's the perfect cross-platform for the NFT, I feel. But then again, I think maybe we were talking again behind the scenes with this about how much stuff is actually sold off of Instagram, and as if it will be worth trying to sell the NFTs through the Instagram platform. them potentially not being as big as like an Etsy, or if that's Etsy, if that's how you pronounce it.
I mean, just understand the space you're getting into. Like, if you're not gonna know, I mean, just know their terms of service. Like, know what ballpark you're playing in.
No, that's
just
true.
a responsible thing to do as a creator. Like,
no,
if you're gonna have risque stuff, don't do it on Instagram. Go to a place where your style will be more accepted.
Do you think it's gonna be beneficial for the NFT space to be able to use Instagram any more than we already are now? Because I mean, the only thing that's gonna change is that you're gonna basically be able to add a badge somewhere on the post, whether if it's in like the location space or in the comment space, that it's a collectible. Other than that, that's what I'm saying. I wonder.
What's the question?
That's a great question in itself. No, I guess I was saying like, how much is what am I trying to say? How much Instagram is actually going to play a role in helping artists sell NFTs?
Man, I think it's going to be massive. Just bringing the one, it's going to bring exposure to the space. 2, it's going to open the floodgates of creators. 3, it's going to make it somewhat easier for people to acquire them and trade them. So it's going to do everything for the space, visibility, exchanging. So like, all right, so you have the blockchain intertwined with Instagram. So then you go viral, and now you have a bigger space for people to trade, and then you're making those residuals on the blockchain with straight intellectual property, basically. Just racking up bread. I mean, it's gonna have a lot of challenges, because then it's gonna start bringing in the copyright and stuff like that. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be super
and that's
crazy.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're gonna bring the copyright in another manner, which will change the way folks do some of their art. Because I even seen something today. I was one of the bleeples that he put up, which it was kind of neat. It was like the SpaceX rockets with Jeff Bezos' face on the front of him, his head. That shit was kind of funny.
SpaceX rockets, not Blue Origin?
They look like SpaceX, where he kind of like switched them over, rather than using Elon's face, he used Jeff's face. Because the Blue Origin ones look the rockets look slightly different, at least from what I see.
They look like giant dildos.
They do be looking crazy though.
There's definitely a pause on that.
You say what? He's definitely
a pause on those rockets.
Pause. Yo, that shit's too funny. I guess too, he just came back from that quote unquote space thing.
Right.
Jeff Bezos. So I guess we'll get that update in real time here eventually. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, so my thing too, I guess, is with Instagram as well, is they're gonna take a cut because this is capitalism. So I'm wondering how much of a cut they're gonna take on top of the gas fee, and then really the royalty that's built in, because whoever sells is gonna get hit with all 3 of them most likely. That was one of the things I was thinking of that is going to be kind of interesting, is kind of what twang they put on that, if any. Because obviously, if you buy it directly off of their platform, they're going to hit you with something. So I'm wondering what that's going to be. Really, I'm wondering when they're going to do this. It seems like kind of at this point, if they just keep waiting, I don't understand really what they're waiting on. But hey, nonetheless. So another topic, utility of digital assets. I think one thing that gets a lot of people hung up when it comes to the NFT game and the NFT world, the metaverse in itself, and kind of understanding it, is again that full utility of really how some people are going to use the NFTs. But it's interesting because as well, over the last year or two, we've seen Raspberry Pi come up, which is that, we've talked about this. It's the really small programmable, basically microchips, like anybody can buy, program it, and put it in anything. Virgil from Off-White was using it, and some of that Louis Vuitton stuff he was creating, some of those bags that change a bunch of colors. From my knowledge, that stuff has that Raspberry Pi built into it. Kind of like where I'm going with this is more of the utility of adding Raspberry Pi to clothing. And
do you go into Raspberry Pi for the people that have no idea what that is?
Raspberry Pi is a company that makes microchips and micro processors and micro storage. So what folks can do, and I say folks as in like anybody, because anyone could go to their site and just see their product and then purchase what's necessary. So it's small micro computer parts that you can build and put together with miniature screens, and basically just build these own miniature computers. Now is what someone did, for example, they've taken the Louis Vuitton duffel bag. There's a Louis Vuitton duffel bag that has been created that you can open it up and turn it on the inside, and the bag itself will just completely flush itself all in and out of time with multiple different shades of colors. It'll just go red, green, blue, white. It'll just be splash of tie-dye of all types of colors. So what they've been able to do is get that fabric to work basically as a screen with the Raspberry Pi. Because it's so small, they can put it in the bottom of the bag and you don't even notice it's there.
Right.
Yep. So that's a little bit of a rundown, I guess in a layman's way, of what Raspberry Pi is. So I'm kind of, we got the utility of the digital assets, such as in like, what we've talked about, putting them on a screen and having them like down the hallway of a hallway going into another room in the house or to the lanai or something of that nature. That's a still way that I've been thinking about it. But then it's, more things have come to mind about other ways of using it, because the other thing with it is, there's the whole augmented reality with the clothing. And I know, actually, I could be wrong on this, but I think 19 Keys has said some stuff on this, as well as some other people have. I know some dude was talking trash to me on Instagram about it. But the augmented reality clothing with the NFT game infused, I think that's a little too early. I think we're gonna see more of that, what I was talking about just a second ago with the Raspberry Pi.
What do you say? What makes you say it's early?
Because I feel like you're kind of skipping, we're skipping that step.
What's that?
Still actually wearing the clothing. Like if we can create a fabric that we can use these miniature computers with and have your NFT show up on the shirt as the screen itself. I mean, to then have augmented reality clothing, the viewer, have to own something in order to be able to see you walking by me if you even have the augmented reality clothing on. Where like everyone puts a shirt on every day. So you could buy that dope tech shirt and put it on, that you could put your NFT on it like a screen, almost like it's being projected on there with no projector before the augmented reality. Because that comes in the Google Glass, the Halo lens, what's that, Magic Leap, all that stuff comes into play in order to see augmented reality clothing.
Yeah, well, at first it's gonna start off like on some Pokemon Go type stuff where it's a novelty, but then it'll find its way more easier and then more convenient. And when I mean convenient, easier for it to be seen. Like I don't need to own these glasses for it to pop off, or I don't need to have the app. You feel me?
Right, but that's what's so weird, because it's like, so the person I'm gonna see, like, okay, so say you've got your device on that puts that force field around you that has the clothing, because that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna have to like project somehow onto you, through you. I don't even know how that's supposed to work, right? But you're just gonna walk outside. You're not walking outside naked in the augmented reality cover you up. You're obviously walking outside with like white shirt on or like black shirt.
Yeah, but then it's gonna be like, that's what I'm saying, like on some Pokemon Go stuff, like if you have the app or you have whatever accessory if the company comes out with for you to even view it, it's like, oh, I'm wearing this shirt, but see my hidden outfit. You know what I mean? So like it'll be you feel me though? Like little baby comes on stage, it's like, oh, see his NFT outfit. You feel me? he's wearing little baby's on stage wearing Da Vinci, but if you have your NFT glasses, you'll be able to see him on stage in an NFT boutique exclusive whatever.
We need to get that sound effects. That's all that.
Feel me,
that's
though?
some bombs right there, bro. That's fire, because see, that's a good way of using the augmented reality. That's dope, because otherwise, you know, you in Publix or Walmart or something like that, you know, grandma's not walking by with NFT augmented reality clothing on. Grandma don't gotta hit an outfit. I doubt that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have to be so advanced into the crypto game. Not saying grandma's not, but you feel me? Like, I don't know. I think that's just a little far. I think it's easy to promote the augmented reality clothing on Instagram because you're showing what you would see through the augmented reality, but we still see even today in real time with the Oculus Rift and that stuff. I mean, it's popular. You can get it in Walmart now. You can buy it in Best Buy and stores like that, but people got PlayStations and Xboxes. Not everybody's got an Oculus, you know, and that's not even really augmented. That's still virtual. So I still think it's still time away for it to pick up where it's a utility use. I think when it comes to that, well, I was about to go off into something else, so I'll hold that for another time. What were your thoughts?
That was my thoughts.
Oh, copy. So yeah, and I mentioned this somewhere, maybe on Instagram or something like that. I can't remember at this point in time. It was interesting how we have kind of saw, I say we as in Fibonacci and myself, MediaMan, but as anyone out there, if you guys have anyone that comes across us right now has seen Psycho Pass, okay, the anime Psycho Pass, which Fibonacci actually put me on to that a couple of years ago. It's like one of the few animes I actually check out. If they even do it anymore, I don't even know. But Psycho Pass is interesting because they showed the metaverse utility in like real time in that show, I feel. So Fib, remember when the players would be in their home and they put the helmet on? And then I think one of the anime characters, they were like a singer or something of that nature in the other universe. And then they were getting even hunted down by the police in the other universe and stuff like that. You remember that? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But like, I feel like what they were, if anyone goes back, or, you know, we'll go back and check it out. I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, damn, they kind of already like was spitting out there that this was going to be like, the world was going to implode in on itself. And that's what I think the metaverse obviously is now. And we keep talking about this, but you know, everything imploding on itself.
The Matrix is that as well. There's a lot of sci-fi. I mean, it's all based around that in a sense.
Well,
the basis of like most sci-fi, you like as far as like earthly sci-fi, it's either like VR or the AI taking over. You know, it's the only two, and then the Matrix is the combination of the two. It's like the only two things that could really happen. You know, it's the destination for both things.
And on
I
that,
think Terminator's a hit.
Of course. And The Matrix is a hit. Both of them are some of the world's biggest franchises.
Written by the same person.
That's right. Shout out Sophia Stewart. Y'all do your research. And on that note. All right, you got anything else, Fib? We're going to wrap up.
I'm saying, you got any more headlines? Any fresh headlines we can talk about real quick?
I mean, not necessarily besides the China one in that sense. I did see something that was interesting because we were kind of talking about maybe doing some shows in the near future where we kind of talk about sports in the NFTs. So I did see something which was interesting. Actually, a new collection popped up called Sports Punks. And it looks like they're kind of just taking different celebrity likenesses and different stuff like that, and from all different you know, sports, and selling them. So I don't know, it was a new collection I had seen the other day. You know, they got
Here's something interesting.
Yeah, they got some big ones that have been selling. Some of these, oh my gosh, I just lost the name of them. It's something ape, lazy ape or something like that. Oh my God, I can't think of the first word, but nonetheless, they just had a big one that sold in the millions, I believe, or it was in the high six figures. You know, that's another one of the algorithmic ones, if you will. You know, there's like 10,000 of them, one of a kinds, stuff like that.
OpenSea raises 100 million at
Ooh,
1.5 billion valuation
on their Series B. That's right. That's right. Which that's huge because there's going to be a lot of new things that end up coming to the site and for the people and for the metaverse, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's big. That's big, I feel. You know, some of these other people were supposed to be getting into the NFT game and they've been crickets. You know, eBay was talking about something. Oh my God, Coinbase was talking about something. There was a few other, wasn't Tezo talking about an NFT platform? I don't know what happened to all that.
They realized the infrastructure and execution and liabilities too big of a risk, too big of a project. That shit sounds expensive, super expensive. Unless you're Amazon or Facebook, like Instagram, those are the only people that could jump into space.
Yeah, like at this point.
Yeah, like, you know, they have enough resources to fail. Unless you have a straight OpenSea, you have a marketplace or a business that specializes around that, it could be an expensive endeavor to try to get involved.
I think they already had something like 30 or 40 million on the first run, and they probably ran through that. Now they 100 on this one. You know, I mean, the infrastructure to probably have, and I mean that by like the server base to probably hold OpenSea right now, they're probably adding buildings to it daily. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a big one though. Yeah, you got any other ones? I mean, that was a big one. I didn't get a chance to look much today. I was busy in my real life. My NFT life begins now.
They're saying here that their NFTs and gaming is like really heating up. I don't necessarily know how that's supposed to work.
Okay, I could give you a little bit of a breakdown of that because I've done a little bit of some reading on the gaming. So they use the same similar structure of the gaming in the NFT space is kind of what they're doing now with the skins and all that type of stuff. But as what's happening is you're able to like they got the one game to start with the crypto kitties where you basically start with a little kitten, you raise it up, and after you raise it so long, it turns colors, it has its own design to it, its own kind of look. People would take screenshots and sell them, and they're selling those as NFTs because the only way you could get that cat is by playing the game and raising up the cat. And you got that cat, my cat's different than your cat. I think we could even mate our cats and make another cat and then sell that cat as an NFT. Then they're going to like these other games where I feel like they've kind of been doing it already to a degree. And what's the World of Warcraft and some of these different types of games?
Yeah, that was literally gonna be my next question. I'm like, how the hell is that any different? Why would I do that? You know?
It's virtually like the same thing. I think they're just now those skins and the different stuff that you're able to get, like the more rare ones, you're able to now like put that onto OpenSea and sell this skin as an NFT where then someone else can buy it, download it, and then use that one skin for their character. So now you got like a skin in the game that's only one and is being sold and traded around as an NFT. I from my knowledge, that's kind of what's been going on with that type of stuff. Now, how they're going to move that into bigger games, I'm not really too sure, really more than any bit on how they are now. You know, you play the game, you get these skins, and technically those skins are kind of NFTs anyway. And so it's its own commodity. I mean, even to a Call of Duty today, right? I mean, if you're the kid, you know, that's got access to be able to purchase all these different guns and different skins and player skins, I mean, you'll have the badass character running around with all the good stuff. I feel like that's all still along the lines of NFTs, although it's not on quote unquote the Ethereum blockchain, but you're basically doing the same thing. So
okay,
that's from my understanding. Maybe I'm off a little bit, but that's my
I
understanding.
mean, they'll keep innovating.
Oh yeah, no, for
Right.
sure. Yeah, you already know.
Word.
Let me see what else I got. I might got something else here. Let me see what's going down. I've definitely wondered on, and this is interesting that this is actually brought up right here, is I did see this in the early stages of NFTs when they first started coming out. This is a new article from today, CoinDesk again, CoinDesk.com. Rolex is in DeFi. NFT marketplace 4K raises 3 million combined NFTs and luxury goods. So I guess they're gonna start doing something, because I seen Louis Vuitton was involved with this in the early stages, like when NFTs started first blowing up this year, or like getting bigger again this year, where they're gonna be doing something where like you go into some of these luxury stores, you purchase something and then you get a one-of-one NFT with it that's also valuable in the metaverse. Sometimes it may look like what you just purchased. It may just be a collectible of their logo or something of that nature. But I've seen that, so kind of interesting. You know, I don't know. I wonder if they're going to be doing anything with pricing because of that, you know, and whatnot. But looks like that's how some of the luxury goods are getting in. My bad. I just seen that article today. I guess Rolex is getting involved with that, purchasing a Rolex to get some NFTs.
I mean, it could just be used more for that customer experience. Word.
Rolex is getting involved with NFTs, so is Louis, Prada, Gucci, and the rest of them. Seriously. So we'll see how that goes from here on out. Probably wraps up what I got this week on my stuff for NFTBoutique. Fibonacci, you got anything else? Good, sir.
That's it. Still in the tuck working.
That's right. We got some new stuff coming. You know, every now and then, folks, on NFTBoutique.net, you'll see maybe one or two pop up, new NFTs from us. We are working on our series behind the scenes, so those things do take time when there's, you know, multiple NFTs working at once. But nonetheless, folks, they're coming. Just stay up on it. And, you know, as we proceed forward, everything great and more is on its way to us and you. MediaMan is out.
Peace.
Peace.